Your surrender, sir.
I will never surrender. I'm not afraid.
Jamie Fraser died, and somehow that wasn't even the most shocking part of the Outlander finale. Something about that ending still doesn't feel completely finished. Yes, Outlander finally gave us the emotional goodbye we had been preparing for ever since the series began. We watched Jamie fall in battle, we watched Claire completely break beside him, and for a few painful moments, it truly felt like the story of these two legendary characters had finally come to an end. But then, in the final minutes of the episode, everything suddenly changed. Jamie's ghost appeared once again. The mystery that had existed since season 1 was finally answered. Claire's powers fully awakened exactly the way the Native American shaman predicted years ago. And just when all hope seemed lost, Claire brought Jamie back to life. But the series ended before we could even see what happens next. And honestly, that final scene may have secretly changed the entire future of Outlander forever. Because after rewatching the finale carefully, I started noticing several details that could completely change the meaning of the ending, especially when you connect it to Blood of My Blood. And now I genuinely think the finale was hiding something much bigger than most fans realize. So let's break down everything together. First of all, I honestly have to admit that this finale felt very different from what I expected. Before the episode aired, I was completely convinced that Outlander was going to give us a tragic ending where Jamie dies permanently and Claire is forced to live the rest of her life without him. And considering how much the series kept reminding us about fate, death, and sacrifice throughout season 8, I really thought that was exactly where the story was heading, especially because the entire final season constantly focused on the Battle of Kings Mountain. Every conversation, every goodbye, and every emotional moment between the characters felt like the series was slowly preparing us for Jamie's final moments, and honestly, the closer the battle got, the more nervous I became. Because deep down, I think every Outlander fan already knew what history said was supposed to happen there. But despite all of that sadness surrounding the finale, I think what made this episode so powerful was how emotional and personal everything felt before the battle even began. The quiet scenes between Claire and Jamie honestly hurt more than the battle itself. You could feel that both of them were trying to stay strong while secretly knowing that this could be the last time they ever see each other again. And I genuinely think Sam Heughan and Katrina Balfe delivered some of the best performances of the entire series during these scenes, especially Jamie. The way he kept looking at Claire almost felt like he was trying to memorize every detail about her one final time. And honestly, knowing everything they survived together across 8 seasons made these moments almost impossible to watch without getting emotional. One thing that really stood out to me was Jamie mentioning his family again before the battle. Because Outlander has always been a story about love and time travel on the surface, but underneath all of that, it was really about family. Jamie constantly sacrificed everything for the people he loved. And hearing him speak about Brianna, Roger, young Ian, and Claire once again before facing death felt incredibly meaningful. It almost felt like the series itself was reminding us of the full journey we had experienced together over all these years. And then we got those heartbreaking goodbye scenes. Honestly, Claire and Jamie saying goodbye to each other felt far more painful than I expected. Neither of them wanted to accept what was about to happen, but at the same time, both of them understood the danger waiting ahead. And I think that's exactly why these scenes worked so well emotionally. The dialogue was simple, but the emotions underneath every word felt incredibly heavy, especially Claire. You could see fear in her eyes the entire time, even while she tried to remain calm for Jamie's sake. And when Jamie shared his goodbye with Brianna, I honestly almost lost it. Because throughout the series, Jamie constantly struggled with time itself, stealing moments away from his family. He missed Brianna growing up, he lost years with Claire, he lived through endless wars and separations. So seeing him stand there, knowing he might never see his daughter again, felt absolutely devastating. And then, finally, the battle began. I genuinely think the Battle of Kings Mountain may be one of the most intense sequences Outlander has ever filmed. Not because it was massive or visually overwhelming, but because the emotional tension was almost unbearable. Every gunshot felt dangerous. Every moment Jamie disappeared into the smoke made me think that was going to be the moment he died, and honestly, Claire's reactions made the entire scene even more stressful. Throughout the series, Claire has always been strong during chaos. She survived wars, violence, loss, and unimaginable pain, but during this battle, she looked completely terrified. It almost felt like Claire already knew what fate had planned for Jamie, and she was desperately trying to fight against it emotionally, even if she couldn't stop it physically. And for a moment, the episode actually gave us hope. When the British finally retreated, I truly believed Jamie had survived. I honestly thought Outlander was going to surprise us by changing history completely. But then everything suddenly collapsed. Jamie getting shot after the battle honestly shocked me more than if he had died during the fight itself, because the scene gave us a false sense of relief first. And I think that's exactly why it hurt so much emotionally. But the moment that completely broke me was Claire trying to save him. Because throughout the entire series, Claire has always been the healer. She saved countless lives, she survived impossible situations because of her medical knowledge, and yet when the person she loved most was dying right in front of her, she could do absolutely nothing. Honestly, seeing Claire scream beside Jamie while realizing she couldn't save him may have been one of the saddest moments in the entire show. The hopelessness in that scene felt painfully real, and even after Jamie died, Claire refusing to leave his side made everything even more emotional. The way she laid beside him almost felt like she was emotionally giving up on life itself. Because for Claire, Jamie was never just her husband. He was her home. Her entire life across time itself became connected to him. And that's exactly why the next scenes changed everything about the finale. Because just when it seemed like the story was truly over, Outlander finally answered one of its oldest mysteries. Jamie's ghost appearing again completely recontextualized the very first episode of the series. For years, fans wondered why Jamie's ghost appeared outside Claire's window in season 1. And now we finally understand the truth. It wasn't simply a romantic mystery. It was Jamie after death returning to see Claire one last time before their story finally ended. And honestly, once I realized that, the entire finale became even more emotional for me, because it means Jamie's love for Claire literally transcended death itself. If you love Outlander theories, ending breakdowns, hidden details, and emotional story explanations, make sure to subscribe to the channel. We're going to keep exploring everything about Claire, Jamie, Blood of My Blood, and all the biggest mysteries from the Outlander universe together. And honestly, after that finale, I feel like the story might not truly be over yet.